Hello student, myself Neeraj Pandey, and today we discuss about alcohol, phenol and ether. You also know the alcohol, phenol and ether is the most important chapter in organic chemistry of class 12. This chapter have many questions in your board examination as well as NEET, IIT, etc. And if we try to understand what is alcohol, what is phenol and what is ether, then it is very necessary for you that firstly you try to understand this chapter are categorized into two categories. In first category we discuss alcohol and phenol, both the properties, because alcohol and phenol both have some similarities, but ether is second category of this chapter. Firstly we try to explain about alcohol. Okay, listen. Alcohol are those type of compound in which any alkyl group or alkyl group directly bonded with hydroxyl group. Here R is a alkyl group, R is equal to alkyl or alkyl group, which means methyl, ethyl, propyl, butyl, pentyl, hexyl, heptyl, etc. It may be CH3, C2H5, C4H9, etc. Okay. In case of alcohol, when any alkyl group directly bonded with alcoholic group, then it is known as alcohol. But if we try to understand that what is the general formula of alcohol, then you can explain. The general formula of alcohol is CnH2n plus 1 OH. Okay, you can comparison this general formula with ROH, the alkyl group whose general formula CnH2n plus 1, and it contains one OH group or hydroxyl group. Then the general formula of alcohol is CnH2n plus 1 OH. If we try to understand what is the explanation about alcohol, then you can explain this alcohol contains saturated hydrocarbon, and you can explain it when any saturated hydrocarbon directly bonded with OH group, then it is known as alcohol. Actually, saturated hydrocarbon is the sigma bonded hydrocarbon. Then you can say that when any sigma bonded hydrocarbon contains alcoholic group, then it is known as alcohol. After the knowledge of alcohol, it is very necessary to you that what is the structure of alcohol. You can see here this carbon which contains saturated hydrocarbon, saturated bond always show sp3 hybridization, and hydroxyl group, it also contains sp3 hybridization. Carbon and oxygen both contains sp3 hybridization. Then you can explain that when any alcoholic group directly bonded with sp3 hybrid carbon, then it is known as alcohol. But actual structure, if we try to understand what is the molecular orbital structure of the alcohol, then it is very necessary for you that you firstly try to understand what is the structure of alcohol. In this situation, this carbon atom contains this type of structure, and this structure is sp3 hybridized structure, in which here hydrogen and hydrogen, one hydrogen atom directly attach with each sp3 hybridized orbitals to form sp3s sigma bond. It also contains sp3s sigma bond, and it also contains sp3s sigma bond. Okay, but one sp3 hybrid orbital of carbon atom directly bonded with another sp3 hybrid orbital of oxygen atom, and each sp3 hybrid orbital contains 2 electron, where overlapping of s orbital with sp3 hybrid orbital takes place. But here this bond is known as sp3 sigma bond, because due to overlapping of both the orbital, formation of sp3 sigma bond takes place. Other side of the oxygen, one hydrogen atom also overlap with sp3 hybrid orbital of oxygen, and it also form sp3s sigma bond. Okay, and except this, oxygen also contains 2 lone pair of electron. Due to this lone pair of electron, the bond angle and bond length of hydrogen oxygen or carbon oxygen bond length are different. And here you can see here this carbon atom which contains sp3 hybrid orbital, but it contains oxygen in this way, oxygen with hydrogen. When oxygen and hydrogen both are connected by the oxygen, carbon and hydrogen both are connected with carbon atom, and this carbon atom contains 3 hydrogen atom. Here the bond angle is 109 degree 28 minutes, and the bond length of carbon and oxygen is equal to 142 picometer, while the bond length in between oxygen and hydrogen is 96 picometer. On the basis of this type of discussion, you can easily understand that what is the structure of alcohol. Okay, firstly you can take a screenshot on your mobile and you can write it, but after the knowledge of structure of alcohol, we try to understand what is the types of alcohol. Okay, the second topic of alcohol is types of alcohol. Types of alcohol on the basis of different number of hydroxyl group, different number of hydroxyl group alcohol are classified into different category. Different category means actually it is the 4 category, but you can write different category. First is alcohols are classified into 4 category or different category on the basis of number of OH group, in which first is known as monohydric alcohol. Monohydric alcohol are those in which alcohol contains only one hydroxyl group in their structure, like R CH2OH. You can put the value of alkyl group, methyl, ethyl, propyl, butyl, pentyl, hexyl, heptyl, etc. and you can find out different type of alcohol like CH3, CH2OH, ethyl alcohol, CH3, CH2, CH2 and OH. It is known as propyl alcohol. You can see here, these all the alcohol contains only one OH group in their structure, then it is the example of monohydric alcohol. I hope you betterly understand what is monohydric alcohol. Monohydric alcohol are those which contains only one OH group in their structure. Okay. Second is dihydric alcohol. Dihydric alcohol. Dihydric alcohols are those which contains two OH group. It contains two OH group or hydroxyl group in their structure. The alcohol which contains two OH group in their structure is known as dihydric alcohol, and the alcohol which contains only one OH group is known as monohydric alcohol. You can see here CH2, CH2. This carbon chain contains only two OH group in their structure and it is known as dihydric alcohol, but actual name is glycol or vicinal diol. It is the name of dihydric alcohol. Except this, you can see another example in which CH3, CH and CH2. It is also those type of alcohol which contains only two OH group in their structure. Third is known as trihydric alcohol. Trihydric alcohol. Trihydric alcohol are those which contains three OH group in their structure. 3 OH group in their structure. The alcohol which contains 3 OH group in their structure is known as trihydric alcohol. For example, CH3, CH2, CH and CH2. Every carbon contains OH group and total number of OH group is equal to 3. Then it is known as trihydric alcohol. Trihydric alcohol. Okay. Fourth is known as, the fourth category of alcohol is known as polyhydric alcohol. Polyhydric alcohol. Polyhydric alcohol are those which contains more than 3 OH group in their structure. If any alcohol contains more than 3 hydroxyl group in their structure, then it is known as polyhydric alcohol. For example, CH3, CH and CH2. You can see it is also CH2. You can see here every carbon atom contains one hydroxyl group in their structure. Therefore, it is known as polyhydric alcohol because the number of hydroxyl group is equal to 4, which is more than 3. No matter alcohol contains 5 hydroxyl group, 6 hydroxyl group, 7 hydroxyl group, but matter only this: if any alcohol contains more than 3 OH group in their structure, then it is known as polyhydric alcohol. Okay. After the knowledge of this type of alcohol, we try to understand what is the classification of monohydric alcohol, because all types of monohydric alcohol are further classified into 3 categories. These are further classified into 3 categories, in which first is known as primary alcohol. Primary alcohol. Primary alcohol are those which contains one OH group, but this OH group directly bonded with 1 degree hydrocarbon or 1 degree carbon, and 1 degree carbon are those which contains only one long chain hydrocarbon. For example, this carbon contains one alkyl group or alkyl group in their structure and directly bonded with OH group, then it is known as primary alcohol, and primary alcohol is also known as 1 degree alcohol. Okay. For example, CH3, CH2, OH. In this situation, this carbon is also act as 1 degree carbon, and 1 degree carbon contains one OH group, then it is known as monohydric alcohol. But this monohydric alcohol also have one alkyl group. Okay. You can explain very easily: when 1 degree carbon directly bonded with OH group, then it is known as primary alcohol or 1 degree alcohol. Second is secondary alcohol. Secondary alcohol. Secondary alcohol are those in which 2 degree carbon directly bonded with hydroxyl group. It means that the carbon which contains OH group is known as alcoholic carbon. When alcoholic carbon contains 2 alkyl group or alkyl group in their structure, then it is known as secondary alcohol or 2 degree alcohol. For example, CH3 methyl. CH3, it is also known as methyl. 2 methyl group directly bonded with carbon and carbon contains one OH group. Okay, this carbon is known as secondary carbon or 2-degree carbon because it contains two alkyl group in their structure. Okay, after the knowledge of 1 degree and 2 degree carbon, 1 degree and 2 degree alcohol, we try to understand what is 3 degree carbon or what is tertiary alcohol or 3 degree alcohol. You can see here name tertiary alcohol, and these alcohol are those in which 3 degree carbon contains OH group, then it is known as tertiary alcohol or 3 degree alcohol. If you take the number of alkyl group in state of R, then you can write CH3 and CH3, and alcoholic carbon contains one OH group, then it is known as tertiary butyl alcohol. Tertiary butyl alcohol or 3 degree alcohol. Okay, I hope you betterly understand what is 1 degree alcohol, what is 2 degree alcohol, and what is 3 degree alcohol. After the knowledge of 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree alcohol, we also try to understand that what is the another category of alcohol. Okay, you can see here there are another types of alcohol are also possible, in which alcoholic carbon contains double bonded system or triple bonded system, generally double bonded system. Our next category according to unsaturated alcohol. Unsaturated alcohol. What is unsaturated alcohol? These are classified into two categories. First is known as allyl alcohol. Allyl alcohol are those in which any carbon-carbon double bonded system contains sp3 carbon, and this carbon have OH group in their structure, then it is known as allyl alcohol. Okay, it is known as allyl alcohol. This structure may be present in this form, like it is cyclopropane. If this group contains pi bond in their structure and one OH group, then it is also known as allyl alcohol. If any benzene ring contains CH2 OH group, then it is known as benzyl alcohol. Actually, it is the pi bond which are present in such a way that carbon-carbon single and double bond alternate. Double bond, single bonds, double, single bond are present, and this is the benzene. When benzene ring directly attach with the alcohol, then it is known as benzyl alcohol. It is the example of allyl alcohol. Okay. Another is vinyl alcohol. Vinyl alcohol. What is vinyl alcohol? when OH group directly bonded with unsaturated double bonded system, means if any OH group directly bonded with ethylene group, then it is known as vinyl alcohol. Actually these are the unstable product, because you can see here, when any ethylene alcohol like CH2, OH, if this group where double bond are present combined together, then by the process of tautomerism, what tautomerism, by the process of tautomerism, when due to high electronegativity oxygen attract both the shared electron toward itself, then hydrogen become positively charged, and to maintain this negative charge, this bond also break toward this carbon atom, and this carbon atom when become negative charge and this carbon atom become positive charge, this positive charge attached with negative charge oxygen to form aldehyde, and this OH group, after breaking hydrogen become minus and hydrogen become plus, and this positively charged hydrogen comes toward CH2 group and it's changed into CH3, C double bond OH. Okay, these are the aldehyde which is known as benzyl acetaldehyde, acetaldehyde. Okay, and in this structure, one in and one all both are present in vinyl alcohol, then it is known as encyl form. Encyl form, and it is aldo form. Okay, so enol form and aldo form both are occur, in which the aldo form means acetaldehyde form about 93%, and this vinyl alcohol stable and form only 7%. Actually these are formed for a very few time, in which they are converted into acetaldehyde and it form 93%, and hence these are unstable alcohol. And you can easily explain, when any alcohol contains unsaturation, means hydroxyl group directly bonded with sp2 hybridized carbon, then these are unstable product, and further it change into enol form, enol to aldehyde form. Okay, I hope you betterly understand what is the allyl alcohol and what is the vinyl alcohol. Except this other types of alcohol are also possible, in which when alcoholic group directly bonded with cyclic hydrocarbon, then it is known as cyclopropyl alcohol or cyclic alcohol. These are the example of cyclic alcohol. Okay, it may be present in the form of 4 carbon atom, cyclobutyl alcohol, cyclopropyl alcohol. ठीक है, And when cyclopentyl group also contains one OH group in their structure, then it is known as cyclopentyl alcohol. Okay, so there are different type of cyclic alcohol are also present, in which cyclopropyl, cyclobutyl, cyclopentyl, cyclohexyl, cyclooctyl, cyclononyl etc. group are directly bonded with alcohol to form cyclic alcohol. Okay, after the knowledge of different type of alcohol and structure of alcohol, we try to understand what is phenol. Okay, the second part, which is related with alcoholic group, is known as phenol. Okay, listen. Phenol are those type of compound in which any aryl group directly attach with hydroxyl group, OH group, and it is indicated by AROH. Okay, actually aryl group is also indicated by benzene ring. Then you can see here, when any benzene ring directly bonded with OH group, the aryl word are used for the aromatic hydrocarbon, and aromatic hydrocarbon is present in the form of benzene. Then this type of structure is the structure of phenol, because OH group directly bonded with benzene ring, and this benzene ring is also known as phenyl ring. Thus it is also indicated by PHOH. Okay, phenyl ring directly bonded with OH group. And another indication of phenol is also C6H5OH, because in this situation one OH group directly bonded with benzene ring, and benzene contains 6 carbon 5 hydrogen in their structure, and C6H5 directly attached with OH group, then it is known as phenol. Okay, if we try to understand what is the structure of phenol, then you can see here in phenol this OH group, which contains 2 lone pair of electron and also sp3 hybridization, directly bonded with those carbon atom which contains sp2 hybridization. When sp2 hybrid carbon of benzene directly bonded with sp3 oxygen atom, then it is known as phenol. Okay, after the knowledge of structure of the phenol, you can see here the phenol in which sp2 hybrid carbon is present, and its bond angle always equal to 120. Okay, here 120 degree bond angle is present in case of sp2 hybridization. Okay, after the knowledge of structure of phenol, we try to understand that what is the classification of phenol. Classification of phenol. Classification of phenol. The phenols are classified into 4 categories. First is known as monohydric phenol. Monohydric monohydric phenol. In this situation, the phenyl ring contains only one OH group in their structure, then it is known as monohydric phenol. Second is dihydric phenol. Dihydric phenol are those in which benzene ring contains two OH group. It means that when any phenol contains two hydroxyl group in their structure, then it is known as dihydric phenol. Third is known as trihydric phenol. Trihydric phenol, and trihydric phenol are those in which any phenyl ring contains three OH group in their structure. Okay. Last is polyhydric phenol. Polyhydric phenol. Polyhydric phenol are those which contains more than three OH group in their structure, like this OH, etc. And these are the structure of polyhydric phenol. You can add another OH group also, and it is known as polyhydric phenol because it contains more than three OH group in their structure. If we try to understand about monohydric phenol, then according to number of different functional group, according to number of different side chain, the monohydric phenol, dihydric phenol and trihydric phenol are also categorized in different category. Like if any benzene ring directly bonded with OH group, then it is known as phenol. In this situation, firstly you try to understand the position where functional group is attached is known as ipso position. Okay, it is the ipso position of phenol. According to ipso position where functional group is attached, the other position, either right side or left side, is known as ortho. It is also known as ortho position. Second, both side is known as meta. It is known as meta, and the last position is para. In this way, you can explain in phenol there is two ortho, two meta and one para position is present. Okay. On the basis of this ortho, meta and para, when any monohydric phenol contains methyl group in their ortho position, either this side or this, then it is known as orthocresol. Its name become orthocresol. If OH group contains CH3 toward meta position, then it is known as metacresol. Okay. And if OH group contains CH3 toward para position, then it is known as paracresol. Okay. On the basis of this, we can easily understand what is the different type of name of monohydric phenol are used according to functional group which is attached with the phenyl ring. If any phenyl ring contains X in their ortho, meta and para position. Then orthohalophenol, okay, if it contains halogen toward meta position, then it is known as metahalophenol. And if we try to understand this X is directly bonded with para position, then it is known as parahalophenol, where X is equal to, you also know, chlorine, bromine or iodine etc. are used. On the basis of this, you can easily understand what is the types of monohydric phenols. Okay, dihydric phenol, which also categorized in different category, that one is one is OH and OH. If two OH group are attached toward adjacent carbon of phenyl ring, then it is known as catechol. Okay, if this OH group change their position like this, OH and OH, then it is known as resorcinol. Okay, if position of OH group change toward meta position, para position, then it is known as quinol or quinone. Okay, these are the different type of phenol, and my next lecture I provide you in my next video. Thank you so much.